On this week's episode, your boy Bill Cosby on the loose.
Juvenile ain't so hot no more.
Officer saved by the blue.
Cuba is not snitching.
What you know about womanists?
Young Thug is delirious.
Republican done got his ass shot. And text message misses. Self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists. What's going on, people? It's your boy Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists back for another episode. And this is Bill Cosby. You might know me from such things as Fat Albert, The Cosby Show, Jell-O Pudding Pops, and Quaaludes. I had a mistrial. I'm sorry I had to do that. I fucking had to do that shit. I'm sorry. Anyway, I need y'all to go to www.conversationconartists.com. Check out all the shit on the website. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on-point.
And I can be found at red_calamity. We are still doing the list letter portion of the show, which is released on Thursday. So if you have a question that you would like for us to answer on that part of the show, you can send it into the website or send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists.com. And so we're going to get right on into these news stories. Let
me get into Bill Cosby.
Yes, since you did the impression.
Bill Cosby has a mistrial. And the jury was sequestered, which means they couldn't go home. Mm-hmm. They couldn't watch TV. They couldn't do shit. It was just court, eat, sleep. Court, eat, sleep. Court, eat, sleep. And they ended up deadlocked. And the judge was like, go back, do it again. Deadlocked. Do you know the reason why they were deadlocked most of the time?
Why?
They couldn't decide what the definition of rape was in order to determine whether Bill Cosby was guilty or not. They couldn't determine whether putting a Quaalude in somebody's drink, them drinking it, going back with you, and not being able to say, no, don't do that to me, is rape or not.
What the fuck else is it?
I don't know what their line of thinking was, but I think that's what deadlock is. Like, even if it's one or two people,
oh yeah,
it's a problem.
It has to be unanimous.
And then it was 7 men and 5 women. So clearly, men are gonna have a different perspective on it.
Yeah,
and women are gonna have a different perspective on it.
Men shouldn't have a different. Rape is rape, motherfuckers. If it is not consensual, it is rape, and consent is not drug up so that she'll be like whatever. That is not consent. You can't drug somebody to get their cooperation. That ain't how consent works.
What if you get cooperation and then drug them?
No, because then they can't say no if you take away their option to change their mind, because people do that.
What if Bill Cosby was like, hey, I want to have sex with you, are you okay with that? And she'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Well, I like for you to be lifeless.
Nigga, no.
So I have some Quaaludes, and she like, what the fuck are Quaaludes? Didn't that shit go out of style like 40 years ago? I have a basement full. So how you feel about that?
No.
I don't believe that shit either. I'm just trying to find the logical, most reasonable way people would not be able to determine whether that was rape or not.
I mean, in a society where a motherfucker can say that there's a such thing as legitimate rape, and legitimate rape being one in which the woman does not become pregnant, because if you are raped, your body will not allow you to become pregnant. In a world where motherfuckers can believe that, I can believe that a jury would be like, well, what exactly is rape? Like, I believe that, yeah.
They say Bill Cosby left the court and was like, hey. They say that's what he did.
Oh,
yeah,
he did do that, which, what the fuck?
And I don't know if these was memes or what, but they were like, Bill Cosby walked in with his cane and walked out holding the damn cane, like trying to get pity or some shit. But I don't think they being humble enough, because this shit can be retried.
Yeah, a mistrial. Yeah, if you get found not guilty, you can't be tried again. But a mistrial, yeah, and they probably will try his ass again. Yeah, Bill, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Bill, you still can't go by NBC.
Be the hush face.
You still ain't finna get that special on Netflix. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like,
Oh no, ain't
Your
nobody
life is
finna fuck
you
with
done,
him
bro.
now.
You're done. Public opinion has convicted your ass, whether the court actually do or not.
Understand the court of public opinion holds a lot more weight sometimes than legal court, because you could be found not guilty in legal court and your whole career still be fucked because the public perception is that you're this terrible person. Ain't no company's finna get in bed with you. So yeah, you fucked. It don't matter if you were found not guilty. You're fucked. Man. So,
but you know, it goes to show the level of celebrity power that can sometimes influence these situations. You know, but I guess if you black,
yeah,
that's what celebrity power can do for you, because you could be a white ass teenager on a swim team, rape somebody and get off, you know, because that shit has happened.
Yes, it has.
And it continues to happen, like, because
they don't want to ruin his young life. The fuck? And what about her young life? Like, the fuck?
Well, you ain't got to worry about that shit with Bill Cosby. He old as shit.
This is true.
Bill Cosby about blind.
He is. Yeah.
I mean, he probably already using a colostomy bag.
Yeah.
So you don't want to rape him in jail.
Gross. I don't even think anybody would want to rape Bill Cosby, because he's still Heathcliff Huxtable to like a lot of people.
That might have been some people's fucking dreams.
Ew.
Ooh.
Don't do that. Nope. No.
Heathcliff Huxtable.
I fucking hate you so much. I really hate you.
They be in jail with a Bill Cosby post on the wall. Like, I can't wait to see that pudding pop. This 70-year-old pudding pop.
Ew.
I know, right? I don't even know how I can say this shit. I'm a man.
Oh my God. In other news, you gotta go to court, huh? You got served a subpoena for child support, huh? That was that nerve, huh? You ain't even much get a chance to say a word, huh? Yes, Juvenile was a prophet.
You a paper chaser. He got the block on fire with man and a G. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. No moment to inspire, know what it is to make nothing out of something. You handle your biz.
And don't be crying.
Woody.
Nigga.
I have no idea anything I just said. None of that was comprehended. I have no idea what I said today, as much as I didn't know when it came out.
That's like, we're going to talk about Juvenile, but I heard Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony the other day, and I just realized I have never known what the fuck. And I mean, it's one of those songs where you be mumbling like along, because you ain't saying the words, because you don't really fucking know the words.
See me like a Charlie, but what the sky got it, but I'm gonna miss everybody. And I'm born a kind of man. Let me
God bless you. We're gonna play the heavens. And when I got up for 7 days, God seen the rain, even though the devil all up in my face, giving me space.
Yeah.
That's
and
one
then,
of them.
In the middle of all that shit, I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. Like, at the end of that song, it was like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but somebody missed their Uncle Charles.
Yeah, that's one of them songs. Ha is the same one of them songs where you just be, ha.
This shit.
Basically, they're saying words. We just don't understand what the words are. So, and you don't have to. You just mumble along.
Exactly.
But in the same way that I feel like Kanye West and Gold Digger kind of prophesied what was going to happen for his life, Juvenile did the same thing with his song "Ha," because that about the subpoena for child support is an actual lyric from his song, according to Rap Genius. He is currently serving time, maybe 30 days, maybe longer, because he is $150,000 behind in child support. Nigga, what is Juvenile doing these days? This nigga don't have $150,000.
Yes, Juvenile will be able to get $150,000 for doing a concert for the rest of his life, probably. Yeah, he could be a juvenile in a wheelchair.
Yeah, but ain't he still, I mean, the way Baby do business, Is he gonna get the 150?
Is he still in Cash Money? Chewing out in the Cash Money no
Did
damn
he
more.
leave? Shut up now. I don't fucking don't. You know this shit about rap. He ain't with Cash Money no more.
I don't want to put my money on it.
Who he with then?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, look, he ain't obvious. Either he choosing not to pay this $150,000 and he got it, or he ain't got it because he is in jail right now, and he can easily get out by dropping this money. Because it's like a mandatory. It's like 30 days if you don't pay.
He probably rather be in jail than give a baby mama he hate $150,000.
And then what's fucked up is that court. Well, I don't know how far behind he is. Cause I was finna say like that order had to be made. Like, what if it was made at the time when like he was up and Ha was like out? Cause that's completely different from what the fuck he at now.
That mean his kid will be 17.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They took over for the 99-2000 shawty. Like that's 17, 18 years ago.
But if you behind. So if you're behind, you still have to pay what was ordered at the time, even if your circumstances is straight. That's why it's just better to go and pay that shit, because you don't want to like get all this child support that's ordered when you got money. Don't pay it. Get behind. Now you still got to pay that shit, even though now you don't have the money no more. That's fucked up. Just pay the shit when you owe it. Pay what you owe, because they lock motherfuckers up for child support now.
They do. Well, when it's 150,000, the bank get or the court get a percentage of that if it's court ordered.
Oh,
did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yes, if you do child support through the court system, they get a percentage.
Oh, so they got a reason for wanting to get
Hell yeah! Why you think child support is so rampant?
Yeah.
It's a part of a bigger system. The courts get paid from that shit. Why you think they discourage the support and the connection of the African American family, and the woman and the man ain't together, and the man got to pay child support, and they pay some of that money to the court? I'm not saying it's a big ass system where they just trying to make the black man be disconnected. Like, I ain't on that black Israelite shit.
Hotepish there.
You know, I ain't on that shit. Okay. But you know, it's not like motherfuckers around the round table was sitting around saying, how can we fuck up the black family in that sense?
Yeah.
It's like, well, since the black family is fucked up for various reasons, how can we make money off of it? Let's do child support. And then it turns into, you know, judges never give men custody.
Yep. Oh, shit.
You know,
no, especially not here.
Men are typically the ones that make the money, and so they get the child support from the man.
Man, and let me say this, because I had a friend who got locked up. He got pulled over for a ticket. They ran his name. He had a warrant out because of their child support shit, and he wasn't paying it because the baby mama wasn't letting him see his child. Don't do that shit. Because at the end of the day, you still owe that money. That's like saying, look, this like me being like, you know what, Charter?
Yeah.
This was out for a few hours here, and then it was out for another. So I'm not gonna pay this shit because it wasn't working the way that it was supposed to work. Guess who gonna get the fuck turned off? Like, that is not how anything else in life work. You owe this money still. The money is not contingent upon your visitation. The money is owed because this is your child that you don't have custody of. You don't get to decide, oh, I ain't get to see little Johnny. Fuck you. I ain't sending that check. You gonna get locked up, nigga. Pay that shit. Like, it ain't worth it. Because now you gotta pay. You didn't, and what he had to do, he didn't have the money at the time. So now you gotta call around trying to get people to get money so you to get the fuck out. That's embarrassing when you could have just paid the fucking money. Go through the courts. If she not giving you your visitation and shit, go through the court. If you gonna spend extra money, spend it on a lawyer. Don't spend it on getting out of fucking jail. Don't do that shit.
Baby mama be petty out here though.
And I know that that's true.
Look, babe, what's gonna happen is she gonna get on Instagram with her new man, have him laying on the couch, and just make it rain on him with that money. Hey, baby, what we gonna get with this?
Guess what? Then you take that Instagram to court. And you show the fucking judge, look, this what this bitch is doing with this money.
The judge gonna be like, did we get our cut? Then I don't give a fuck. Take your ass back and pay that shit again next month.
I mean, that's like saying shit ain't fair at work, so I ain't gonna go. You don't get fucking fired. Like, that's just not how it works. In an ideal world, yes, if you were being treated unfairly in a situation, you would be able to withhold services or whatever the case may be until the shit was rectified. This is not how that shit works, though. Your ass gonna get locked up. And he had to get locked up twice before that shit settled in for him. you're not punishing her by not, because you're gonna end up having to pay her shit anyway, and you're gonna get locked up. So if she being petty, ain't nothing better than being petty and being able to be like, oh, and that nigga got locked up. Look at his stupid ass. Like, don't do that, man.
Juvenile might thrive in jail.
Why?
What you mean? Like, he a celebrity.
I don't know that I don't know. I feel like,
or they be making him back that ass up.
I was just finna say, I feel like they would try to break him down because of that. Like, I don't know that he would be. I feel like he would be more of a target. I feel like most of that's why they put them in fucking. They don't put them in general population, because I feel like they would get fucked up. I feel like people would have something to prove, and they would fuck him just cause. Like, I don't know that he would. He need to just. Again, I don't know if he got 150,000. I don't know if he just got it laying around and just decided he wasn't gonna pay her cause fuck her. But you need to go and pay it, Juvie.
Well, this is why.
Before you be backing that thing up yourself.
This is why, number one, my kids are extremely comfortable where they are, which are in my scrotum. All right, day one. Let's just keep that. Let's get that out there. Rip that Band-Aid off. My kids are happy where they are, okay? Number two, if they decide to venture over into somebody, it's going to be somebody that I'm damn sure going to be with for the rest of my life, okay? Because I'm not dealing with no baby mama shit. That's just not going to happen.
Here's another thing. Because there's folks be killing me with this whole baby mama, baby daddy shit. You fucked this person and created a life. And I feel like some of the time, maybe you didn't know that this bitch was crazy. But a lot of the time, I feel like you can tell this motherfucker is the type of bitch that's going to be petty as fuck when you ain't with her no more. How about you don't impregnate her? Or you already knew this nigga was broke. Then you get pregnant mad because he ain't helping you with your child. Bitch, what you thought was going to happen? Like, people get mad about the other parent to their child. Bitch, you chose them. You act like you lost the lottery. It was the lottery. It was a draft and you just got a shitty pick. No, you chose that person. How about you choose better people to stick your dick in? How about that? How about you don't get these hood rat ass bitches that's gonna be petty and try to keep your child from you just to get a check and shit? How about that? How about you make better decisions with your penis? That probably would help. And with your vagina, because I'm not just talking to men. Women do it too. Again, you out here complaining that your baby daddy ain't shit. Well, you picked that ain't shit nigga. And he was ain't shit when you was fucking him before you got pregnant. You just thought this child was going to magically make him into shit. Shit is shit at the end of the day. It ain't going to be nothing but what it is. Shit.
But
you can't turn shit into something good.
It wasn't on purpose. Condom broke.
The fuck out of
here.
here.
That little nigga was a mistake.
Fuck out of here. I think that happens some of the time. Most of the time, motherfuckers just out here shooting up the club.
Didn't shoot up the club. It was just a little loose skeet.
Fuck. I don't even know what to say to you.
I don't deserve this. It's an accident.
Yeah, okay.
I blame Trojan. Durex.
All these motherfuckers,
Lifestyles.
all these motherfucking dudes out here that made it into their 40s and 50s and shit and ain't procreated using the same condoms you used it. Don't give me that shit. Now, do I think that happens upon occasion? Yes. But all of these babies running around here in these broken ass families were not the result of no broken condoms. Some niggas are just out here making bad penis decisions.
They soldiers ain't marching. Okay?
Fuck.
What?
How old are you?
They see me swim in circles.
How old are you?
How old am I?
Yes.
32.
Do you have any children?
No.
Are you swimming? As far as you know.
I hope.
Okay then. So it's completely possible to live your life and not impregnate crazy bitches.
I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It is. 100%. And it's also extremely possible. I am 32 as well. And I don't have no kids by no crazy niggas. It's entirely possible for you to not do that. 100% possible. You make bad decisions with your genitalia and that's what happens. Make better decisions with your genitals, people. You only get one. Don't fuck around out here and just make bad decisions with it. Make better decisions with your genitals.
I mean, I guess.
Nigga, what's your next? What's next?
Philando Castille.
Oh, damn it.
The officer that shot him was acquitted, right? But fired. So being acquitted means technically they didn't find you at fault enough to send you to jail. But he was at fault enough to not be able to have his job. But I just brought this up because these shootings that have happened in the African American community by police, it shed layers on the depth of protection of the blue. So the blue has been protected pretty much at all levels as it pertains to being convicted. Now, a lot of that is these lawyers who are aspiring to be DAs might not want to do things that's going to jeopardize their chances of looking bad with the police department. So at a certain point, I think maybe in Ferguson, they were talking about we need independent people from the outside to prosecute these things so that they don't have any investment in the future, their future career moving forward.
Are DAs elected officials?
Not district attorneys. I don't think so. The one is a position above the district attorney that is elected official.
Oh, okay.
Like on Law and Order, you see the DAs all the time, but you don't see that the other position. Damn, I can't think of it.
The old white man.
Yes, the old chubby white man, the big white, the southern white man. You know what I'm talking about? Attorney General, maybe? I don't know. If you fool with law, is the Attorney General higher than the district attorney? What role did the district attorney play? Colin, if you're listening to this point, I don't know where you're at. I don't want to call you out if, it takes you some weeks to listen to this episode. It's cool, but I know you know your legal shit. So, if you want to chime in a little bit.
The Attorney General is above the DA, but I think the DA is who you're thinking about on Law and Order. I think the DA is like the head person, and then the ADAs are the ones that actually go in court.
Well, the DAs that I'm thinking about in the show, they sit behind a desk and the lawyers come into there, the ADAs come into there and tell them, this is why we need to do this. And they be like, nah, this ain't a good idea. Don't do this, go re-question. But there's a person on the show that as it pertains to the political shit, when the lawyers fuck up and it turn into a TV storm shit show, that's old ass country dude always show up.
Oh, I know. I think I remember
to
him
get
now.
you to make he start being like, we got to do fucking damage control. I need to talk to the chief of police, and then he gonna talk to the attorney general, and we all get together to figure out how to resolve this shit.
But is he an attorney or does he work for the mayor's office? I don't know.
I don't know. Forever. It's what it is. But this whole thing sheds the layers of how all of these systems have fucked up. So when this first started happening, you got every police officer it was happening to was getting acquitted. It wasn't no doubt, shadow of a doubt. Then when Terrence Crutcher was killed, I was like, okay, we know women are an oppressed group. This woman shot Terrence Crutcher. We gonna see if she's protected by the blue as well. The blue protected her, and she still kept her job. I just don't think she in officer duty. So then we get to a level where it's not even a white cop. It's a Latino cop that killed Philando Castille. The blue protected him enough for him to not go to jail, but didn't protect him enough
to keep his job.
And so I think we're peeling the layers. Like, I've been hopeful during these things to say maybe we'll get, we'll see where the blue starts detaching. And you know what? I think we're about to find out the limits with this case that we talked about last week where the police officer and her husband killed that dude. We gonna see, because she was in plain clothes. She wasn't even in her uniform. So we're about to see if she's going to be protected by the blue, even if the blue ain't in uniform, ain't on duty, And I have a big problem with that dialogue as it pertains to the officer feared for their life. What about a civilian that fears for their life? First off, if for some reason I fear for my life from you as two civilians and I shoot you out in the street, I'm going to jail.
If you're out in the street, because you got the whole stand your ground shit. So
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
If I was at your house, it might be different.
It's not likely that I'm going to get out of that situation, even though I fear for my life. So an officer being able to fear for their life places a level of value that's perceived on the part of the officer versus on the part of the civilian.
And their job is to protect and serve.
The thing you gotta understand about police is their job used to be to protect white people from black people.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of people don't understand that, like, a black person drinking out a white water fountain in Jim Crow law times, police officers were supposed to stop them from doing that, because how dare you put your black lips around what white people drink out of? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't see how so many people are so naive as to the racial discrepancies in a system that used to do that. And not that long ago. Mm-hmm. They were releasing dogs on black people because they wanted to sit where they wanted to on the bus, you know? And so it's crazy how this is coming around full circle, but it kind of made me glad that social media exists like this. I'm glad that we're able to see this stuff. I'm glad that it's finally coming out. It's just so new that the level of denial that exists in people that support the blue unconditionally have not seen enough yet. Mm. And I don't even know if it's going to be enough, because the thing is, this ain't happening in the white communities. The people who, like, don't get me wrong, there are people that should be shot by police. Okay? Mm-hmm. Let's get that out there. There are people who do shit that warrants a police officer pulling their gun on them, mm-hmm. and in some instances pulling the trigger. Yep. It just so happens that when white people do outlandish, crazy shit that most people would think a trigger should be pulled on them for, they don't get it pulled.
Well, because they don't fear for their life then.
2 inmates escaped a local jail.
It wasn't local, it was in Georgia, wasn't it?
It was in Georgia, like a local jail. I don't mean a federal or something like that. Mm-hmm. A local jail in Georgia killed 2 guards, and they still were brought into custody alive.
Mm-hmm. And they killed 2 people while they were out.
They kidnapped.
2 people. They didn't kill them.
Mm-mm. They kidnapped 2 people, but black people don't even get that opportunity. Mm-mm. I mean, I can go down a list of names. We got Eric Garner. We got Philando Castille. We got Terrence Crutcher. We got Tamir Rice. We got Alton Sterling. I don't know any white people that can do that. And I asked somebody in this group, and they took it all the way back to 2012, where this white man was killed, a white homeless man was killed by a police officer. And I'm like, if I can name 3 within the last year, and you got to go back to 2012, that don't really prove your point in this situation. I'm not saying that white people don't get killed by the police. I'm saying it is happening in far more disproportionate numbers. And people pull up that whole dialogue about, 500 people were killed by the police last year and only 120 black people.
You got to look at, though, where we...
Yeah, white people outnumber black people.
Yeah, so you got to look at the ratio is going to be off.
It's 1 black person for every 5 white people. Everything that happens to anybody is supposed to be happening more to white people. It's supposed to be more white people on drugs. It's supposed to be more white people on welfare. It's supposed to be more white people getting killed by police. It's supposed to be more people having all these things out there.
Because it's more of y'all.
But look at the list of the white people that getting shot and killed by police. They are white dudes who do dumb shit. And a lot of the black people that's getting killed by police are black people that do dumb shit. We're talking about this isolated group of black people that maybe should not have been killed because the circumstances don't necessarily call for them being shot at that moment. They have this ghost fear that something is about to happen to them, and they get to take a life and live their life on, but somebody died.
Yep.
And watching movies, hero movies and shit, law enforcement, armies, militaries, militias have always been about protecting the people. Mm-hmm. Always. They would lose their life to protect the people who are too weak, or who are not in a position, or who are not skilled or trained enough to take care of themselves. For the police officers to be the ones that are so afraid that they're taking the civilians' lives to protect their own, when sometimes they scared and sometimes they not. So I say that to say, if you're a police officer, because I still respect police officers. Every police officer ain't bad. Every police officer ain't fucked up. And to me, it's an honorable job to put yourself in a position to do that shit. If you're doing it right. If you're doing it wrong, you don't deserve to be in that position, number one. And if you're scared to be in that position, you don't need to be in it if it means you're going to take somebody's life.
Yep.
If you're a police officer that don't shoot first, that try to talk shit out, that's fantastic. But there is not an epidemic of police officers dying out here. There is just not.
Nope.
But it happened too much to black people. And if it happened, and I'll be telling people, they say, well, black lives, all lives matter. And I'm like, Listen, I would tell you right now, if white people start getting shot and killed by police in vastly disproportionate measures, I'll be out here yelling white lives matter. Mm-hmm. You know, but right now, that's not what's happening. Right now, this shit is happening to black people, African Americans specifically. And that's how you know, like, it's that specific group. It ain't even brown people generally. Mm-hmm. It ain't happening to Latinos like that. It ain't happening to Indian Americans like that. It's black people. And you got to look at the pre-existing relationship that black people have had with the police over history to show why this might be happening. But when you add the power dynamic, the police aren't going to be able to take them lives, and black people can't really do shit about it. Anyway, we can move on from that. I just hope that we see, after this shit goes on, through your anger, through your frustration, through seeing black people murdered by police, look at the differences between how these layers are peeled at how the blue protects other groups, at how the blue is protecting people by whether you're a white male, whether you're a female, whether you're a brown person, or whether you're even plain clothes versus, you know, a uniformed officer. I'm interested in seeing how these layers continue to peel. I'm gathering information. But anyway.
Young Thug says that he's new Pac.
Young Thug is old gay. That's all. He ain't no damn new Pac. That shit is offensive. All Eyes on Me just came out. He went and watched that shit and he want to call himself new Pac.
No, you know, he released his album like on his birthday because he says that he's new Pac.
He's not new Pac.
He's not new Pac. And if Tupac was still alive, they wouldn't be cool. Like, he wouldn't be a Young Thug fan, I don't feel like. I can't imagine him really being with it, with the whole Young Thug situation that he got going on. I just don't.
What's wrong with him?
What's wrong with who?
Young Thug.
What do you mean, what's wrong with him?
What's wrong with him? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that question. What's right with that motherfucker? Because I was going
to say, shit, I don't even know where to begin. It's
what's right with him? You know what I'm saying? Like, comparing himself to Tupac.
He's the last, first of all, like, that's Young Thug. Like, nigga, really? I don't even know who other than, like, teenagers. Are there, like, grown men that are, like, rocking with Young Thug? They're like, I'm going to this Young Thug concert, nigga. Like, or is it kids? I feel like it's kids. I don't feel like any grown men are, like, maybe they are. I don't know. I can't get with him. He mumbles and jumbles. He does with his own songs what we do with Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. Like, he do this your shit, nigga. You wrote it. Why are you mumbling like you don't know the words? Do you not know the words? That Lifestyle song, I literally had to go to Rap Genius and look, because I really sat and put on headphones to really try to, like, listen on my own and figure out what the fuck. And I could not figure that shit out. And when I went and read it on Rap Genius, I was like, this don't sound like nothing that nigga said. Like, none of these words, none of this enunciate. Like, I didn't hear any of this. And that lifestyle, I didn't hear none of that. Like,
that man sound like a dolphin drowning. Period. Point blank.
It's annoying. Like, I don't even know why you want to listen to it. And for him to say that he's new Pac, the fuck out of here. Like, no. No. Now, I'm not one of these people who don't feel like there's going to be an artist that may be better than Tupac or just as good. I'm not one of those people. I'm just saying Young Thug ain't it. No. You don't even rap. Like, Tupac was socially conscious. If we were going to try to compare somebody, it would be the Kendrick Lamars and J. Cole's. It's not going to be a Young Thug.
And they wouldn't even call themselves Pac.
No, they wouldn't. Tupac used his platform to bring attention to some of the shit that was going on in our community. Like, a lot of the songs that he had brought attention to just how shit was in the ghetto. Like, how shit wasn't good. How it wasn't the shit that you want. It ain't the place you want to be. He wasn't, making it seem like this was like the greatest life that you want to live. Unlike Young Thug. Like, you ain't nothing like him. What are you talking about? Nothing. At all. I'm sorry. Brenda's Got a Baby? Like,
conscious message.
Fucking, what conscious song did you... let me not act like I know his whole fucking song list. Let me not do that. But I seriously doubt he got anything like Brenda's Got a Baby.
He might.
Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City is closer to that shit. The whole fucking thing.
Okay. He's got a song called F Cancer.
What? I bet that's like, fuck cancer, I'ma smoke anyway. I bet it ain't like about like, let's stamp out cancer. Like, I bet it ain't a positive message.
He got a song called Harambe. Thief in the Night. Constantly Hating. He got a song called Danny Glover.
Oh, that's that album where none of the song titles make no fucking sense.
He got a song named Pull Up on a Kid.
What?
I don't know. I don't even want to hear this shit.
Nigga, so
I don't even know what it sound like.
The fuck out of here, you talking about you young pop. Nigga, no. No.
Mm-mm. I'm gonna rap a Tupac verse.
Which Tupac verse will you be rapping?
Let me see.
Make sure it's something conscious, please.
Okay.
Don't do no ratchet
So I was
shit.
a Tupac head, you know what I'm saying, when I was coming up. So, I'm just gonna spit out a verse. On a lesser known song, because everybody can know the regular shit. This
Brenda's
song is
Got a
Nothing to
Baby.
Lose. It was on
Dear Mama.
Are You Still Down? This just a verse. The only way to change me is maybe blow my brains out, stuck in the middle of the game to get the pain out. I pray to my God every day, but he don't listen. The poverty bothers me while mama's working wonders in the kitchen. Listen, I can hear her crying in the bedroom, praying for money. One of the people, she be dead soon. Am I wrong for wishing I was somewhere else? I'm 13, can't feed myself. Can I blame daddy because he left me? Wish he would have hurried, too much like him, so my mama don't love me on my own at an early age. I'm getting paid and I'm strapped so I never be afraid. When did I go astray? I'm hanging in the back streets, running with G's and dope fiends where they jack me. Can't turn back. Eyes on the prize. I got nothing to lose. Everybody gotta die. Say goodbye to the bad guy, the one you fuck when you pass by. Buck from a Glock, let the glass fly. Do or die, walk a mile in my shoes. Then you be crazy too, with nothing to lose. Now, in this verse was daddy issues, was mama issues, was self-medicating, was justice, social justice, was last resort, was violence. Like, this is all of Tupac's category, everything. Except for like Hit 'Em Up. And even the songs about relationships were about the tainted dynamics between men and women. It wasn't no playful ass bullshit. Maybe To Live and Die in LA was some playful shit. California Love was some playful shit. The only song that I can think of that he got that's about having shit is called what's that song? Damn, I can't remember the name of that shit. Picture Me Rolling, but it wasn't even about really having shit. It was about imagining himself having shit at that point in time. But everything was about his pain, his struggle, his suffering, his life. He had a couple of fun songs, but most of the time it was different. And I used to judge other rappers unfairly up against Tupac. Mm-hmm. I was judging rappers unfairly as it pertains to Tupac because Tupac was raised by a Black Panther. Mm-hmm. Like, he wasn't just some dude that grew up in the community and shit was happening. He was raised by people who, when shit happened, they did shit about it. Mm-hmm. And Tupac was there as it pertained to the Black family. So it's unfair to call Tupac a rapper. He is a social justice advocate, a revolutionary that happened to be able to put pen to paper. Like, he was well trained. He went to the fucking acting academy. Like, he knew how to use words. He knew how to use his body. He knew how to use his emotion. He knew how to use all of that shit.
And he didn't give a fuck about public perception of him. When he saw, when black folks was still being killed by the police, he was coming out and speaking out on that shit. Has Young Thug even made a stand as far as Black Lives Matter and the shit that's going on? Now we got to be careful because we don't want to upset, you know what I'm saying? And that's your business, and that's fine. My issue is if you're going to compare yourself to Tupac, what are you comparing yourself to him based on what? Lyrically, no. You're not a social, you don't give a fuck about social justice, very obviously. Like, what is it that you're saying? What makes you the new Pac? Just sit the fuck down. Like, are you serious?
Don't say that shit.
Don't say that
like,
shit.
That, to me, that's disrespectful to a Pac fan. And I'm a Pac fan. That shit is disrespectful.
He's nothing.
Like,
Again,
the only thing that Young Thug got that Tupac had that you just mentioned is not giving a fuck about public perception. Because it ain't many people that can be out here in dresses, twerking, talking about smoking penises that care about public perception.
But his not caring about public perception is not in a way that's going to help his community. His not caring about public perception is just basically like, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. Tupac was speaking out against like the shit that was going on that he did not think was right. And he did that at the expense of himself. He did that getting arrested for shit. And he did that regardless of that because, and you're right, it does have a lot to do with him being raised by a revolutionary. But again, I didn't make this comparison. Young Thug did. You're the one that want to put this out here and make this comparison. And I just am here to tell you all the reasons why you need to sit the fuck down. All the seats in all the stadiums in all the world. And you can wear your dress when you're sitting down. Do a curtsy before you sit down. I don't really give a shit, but you need to sit the fuck down.
Sit down, nigga.
Sit down.
So, there's a black feminist festival. It's called the Nyan Sapo Festival. I guess that's how you say it. In France.
It's probably not how you
Nyan
say
Sapo.
it.
Nyan Sapo. I don't know how to say that shit. I don't know
Why
what kind
you
of word it
saying
even
like
is.
African.
Nyansapo. It sounds like an African word.
But it's in France. Maybe it is. I don't know. I would have given it a French accent.
Where do black people come from in France? Like, I don't know. Is it a large black population in France?
I don't know.
Anyway.
We everywhere. I mean, I don't know about a large population, but we everywhere.
But, so it's a feminist festival, and it got a lot of heat because the right-wing organizations in Paris started painting it as a black-only festival. And the mayor of Paris came out and said, I condemn this. We're going to cancel this festival. So the organizer of the festival came out and said, no, it is a festival that's welcome to everybody, but there are workshops that are specific for black women. And it's not white people can't come. It's no brown people can come, but black women and black men can't even come. So these groups try to make it sound as if it was anti-white to try to get it shut down when they were misrepresenting the situation. Lord. And so, is it okay to have an event that white people can't come to, like, and when it pertains to feminism, do you think? Is it okay to have them kind of?
Because I feel like black feminists or black feminism is different than white. I feel like when white women talk about feminism and talk about equality, they don't take into consideration the fact that their privilege is still going to put them ahead of the black women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your skin color is still going to give you still have white privilege. It's to a lesser extent than your male counterparts, but the white privilege still exists. So I feel like we do need our own spaces because a lot of times they don't take into account that fact that it's different for us. Because we have these two things going together. You have, yes, the fact that you are a woman, absolutely. And I'm a woman too. But I'm a woman and I'm black. And I don't think that they're willing a lot of times to acknowledge that fact. So we do need our own spaces sometimes.
You heard of womanism?
The fuck is womanism?
Womanists is the black equivalent to feminists. It's been around for a while. I can't remember the name of the original creators of that term, but
we
it
can't
was
just be black feminists. Shit, you gotta change the whole goddamn.
Because I mean, the word feminism was something that black women were excluded from exclusively. Like,
so
it wasn't
everything else. Like, I feel like, I don't know, womanism, because it's not womanism. It's still for us. It's not women, because womanism makes it seem like it's all women, and it's not.
Well, feminism do too. I mean,
but I'm
as a
saying, Yeah, exactly. So why would you want to repeat that? I feel like black feminist makes more sense than womanism. You're just basically doing what they doing, and you're still excluding a group.
I don't know. I guess it depends on the use of it. You know, like somebody else can't use NAACP for something just because it means something else. So depending on
somebody
how
else can't use black feminism.
That's what I'm saying. Well, feminism itself wouldn't be able to be used just because you put black in it if white feminists made the word to where you couldn't use it in that way.
But they haven't done that. They don't. Again, I feel like they don't even recognize the fact that they still have privilege and that it's not the same for us. I don't even think that they're acknowledging that fact.
Well, that's the biggest problem. The issue with not recognizing intersectionalities, because their only problem is that they are women, as opposed to men. As to where women who are brown have the problem of women and a brown person. And if you're gay, you have the problem of being a woman, a brown person, and LGBT. They're not addressing the intersectionalities that exist. And so I don't believe that. I believe when feminism first started, when white women were fighting for rights, they were just fighting for rights for white women. So why would you want to call yourself a black feminist? Why would you want to even call yourself that shit? Like, I'd make a term to identify my own shit too.
But it doesn't need to be womanist. I feel like that's too inclusive, and we're not trying to be inclusive. That term is inclusive. It still doesn't dictate that it's for us. It
means what it means. It's like Black Lives Matter. Motherfuckers made it literal interpretation just because it say Black Lives Matter. Like, it mean what it mean. It means that, you know, in the context of a police officer fucking with a black person, a black life is matters or should matter because it's the one that's being targeted the most. That's what it means. Motherfuckers taking it to mean, oh, that means you're saying that black lives are superior to other lives.
And they're the only ones that matter, and that's absolutely not what that movement is about at all. But I do think we need our own spaces. I think that, now here's the thing. I feel like white women who recognize the distinction and that the extra stuff that we have to face as black women that want to be allies, I think that they should be allowed into those spaces, because that ain't all white women. And a lot of these white women that get upset is just because it's that white privilege. Why shouldn't we be allowed into that? How dare you exclude us from that? It's just that white privilege shit.
I think it's important for any group that needs it to have that space. Unfortunately, and white people can take this as racist if they like, white people always have the luxury of having your own space. Always. You can move to fucking Vermont, motherfuckers, if y'all want to have your own space.
Some of these are places where it's hardly any black folks.
Move to Portland. Like, you can go a number of places and have that space for yourself. But as soon as a black person says,
we can do that too, but it ain't gonna be nowhere you want to live.
Exactly. But as a group, the reason is because there are conversations that black people have that white people ain't gonna understand, that white people ain't gonna want to be a part of, that white people disagree with. And my question becomes, why do white people want to interject themselves in that situation?
Because they white and they feel like they can be in any space they want to be in. They should be allowed. Like, it's just that whole privilege thing. How dare you not include us? We should be included in everything. I think that's what it is. I think it's a situation where they don't even give a fuck about the cause. They don't give a fuck about what it is you're trying to accomplish. They just want to be included because they feel like they should be. It's not because they actually give a fuck about what's going on in these meetings. It's not because they actually want to take part and try to help and find some answers and some solutions. It's just simply because they feel like they should be allowed. And how dare you leave us out? Because we don't get left out of anything. This our shit that we stole, and we run this shit.
Stole this bitch fair and square. Fuck you.
And now you want to leave us
out? Go find your own chicken pox blankets.
Exactly.
He got ours.
Pretty much. I feel like that's a lot of white people's mentality. It's just, it's not that they actually give a fuck about you or about what you doing. It's just they don't feel like they should ever be excluded. They should be included in everything.
And it plays into, for me, it plays into the dialogue about like, because these extremist groups are the ones that's trying to paint it as anti-white. And it's the same groups that come out and say, well, reverse racism.
Oh my God.
You know, anybody can be racist. Black people can be racist. Like, I feel like black people's anger, angst, frustration, confusion towards white people is reactionary.
Centuries of bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, you've been doing bullshit to us. Don't you expect us to be somewhat frustrated or angry?
That's like saying, I don't know why the Indians have such a problem with it. Because y'all, look at what you did to them. Like, seriously? Like, they have a reason to not trust the white man.
Exactly. And like,
y'all took their shit and then gave them little bitty square pieces of land and said, y'all can exist here and only here. Here you go. The fuck, why would they trust you? But white people like to act, well, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. So you shouldn't be suspicious of me. That was those people. You're included in that. Motherfucker, I can't look at you and tell that you ain't like the rest of, like, that ain't how that shit work. The same way that you don't give me the courtesy of trying to figure out who I am and not just lumping me into what you think all black people are, but you expect me to give you that courtesy. The fuck out of here. No. Not
the reason that white people hate black people, that's racism.
Yeah.
That's racism.
Yeah.
The reason that black people have a problem with white people, that's fuck you-ism. That's why the fuck did you do this shit to me-ism. That's how can fucking y'all enslave my whole culture-isms. Like racism, like white people don't like black people because they brown traditionally over time. Okay, that's fucked up. Black people don't like white people over time not because they white. We out here straightening our hair. We out here trying to be light-skinned and shit.
Trying to assimilate.
You know what I'm saying? We're embracing that part of their culture.
And that's why I get so mad when white people appropriate some culture and then be like, well, black women have straight hair. Bitch, that's because we had to fucking have that shit, motherfucker. What is you talking about? That wasn't really a choice. That was maybe if we look more like them, they'll leave us the fuck alone. Maybe if we look more like them, we'll be allowed to just live our lives and not be treated like animals or lesser than. Like, that was some let's try to fucking save ourselves type shit. Not because we just loved your hair so much. It's because it's kind of what the fuck we had to do. That's a little bit different. Not quite the same as you deciding you're going to get cornrows just cause.
Yeah, because if you had a fro, they definitely thought you was a Black Panther back then. You had to straighten your hair just to get a damn job out here. You know, like I was talking to a guy the other day and I was telling him, you know, first off, from my perspective, the difference between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation / exchange is whether you have references for the source material that you're getting this thing from, or whether you're plagiarizing the shit out of it and passing it as your own. To me,
half the time they don't even understand the history behind the shit.
That's what I'm saying. But that goes in to say that if they do understand the history of it from across the street, it still don't look like they do. So you still got to be careful with that shit any way you try to shake it.
Pretty much.
You know, but when you are telling a culture, the only way that y'all can participate in that, because the guy I'm talking to asked me, he said, it was a white person that was doing hip hop reviews, and people was calling it cultural appropriation because they were reviewing hip hop, and they were white. And he said, so does that make it cultural appropriation if a black person, you know, review Shakespeare? And I said, bro, Shakespeare's in our English books when we in school. Like, that's a part of white America saying you need to know our culture. Yep. You know, that is not the same as black. But if a white person gonna review black history, I want them to be able to tell me more about the origins and foundations of hip hop than I can tell them. I want them to know deeply about all of that shit if they're gonna be weighing in on a part of culture that is very, very important to a group of people. You know? I mean, in that way, I think everybody should be respectful. Like, I don't think that means that a black person be able to take Shakespeare shit without doing their due diligence either. You know what I'm saying? But
a lot of times you're going to have done your due diligence just because white folks said you had to.
Yeah.
Or you ain't going to get the fuck out of here. You're going to be in high school forever until you get this Shakespeare shit.
But, like, that's an even more critical point as it pertains to white people because, you know, they've taken everything. And like I say, I always say with this dialogue, this don't mean every single white person. The white person that you was talking about and referencing to is more the ignorant white person. than the intentionally racist white person. But it's still layers of that shit that happens, and layers of understanding that come along with all of them different dialogues. But I think that I feel like brown people should be able to have a space to have a dialogue. It's only a 3-day fucking festival. Like, if you can't let that shit happen for 3 days, then what are you really complaining about?
Yeah, they don't want to go to that shit. They just don't want to be told that they can't.
I mean, I think they don't want a massive group of black people gathering together. Think about what happened after Nat Turner. After that Nat Turner shit, they wouldn't let black people assemble. None. They had to have white pastors in their churches. Like, they wouldn't let them assemble at all anywhere after that Nat Turner shit because they were afraid of a bunch of revolts going on. Like, I just don't think they want that shit to happen. Maybe. They're not gonna let us unify out here. But anyway, Paris, man. Right now, Paris going through some other shit. A police officer in France just raped a black man with a baton.
That didn't just happen. I saw that a long time ago. Another one has happened?
Yes.
What the fuck are they doing?
The one I'm talking about happened in America. The one you talking about happened in America. This shit just happened in France. Yeah.
He purposely raped him with a baton? Because
it was 4 people that got suspended for doing that shit. 4 police officers got suspended. They all say that didn't happen, but he had to have major rectal surgery after his interaction with police. And the head of the police chief in France came to visit the dude because they had been getting criticism of overlooking all of these events that were happening between black people and the police, the minorities and the black communities. Yeah. So, I mean, it's some shit going on with France.
I do not understand people who just, like, get in power and decide to use their power to rape people with objects. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And why you letting that happen? Like, one police officer be like, y'all know what'd be funny? If this baton slipped and went in his ass. Like, and 3 people didn't say, don't do that shit, bruh. Bruh, I promise you, if you pull his pants down, I'm beating your ass. Like, nobody said that shit. 4 people got fired. The other 3 wasn't like, bruh, that's not a good idea. 1, your baton is going to probably stink. Okay, so that's day 1. Don't do that.
That should not be the number 1.
What I'm saying, for a person that already think this is a good idea, you got to think outside the box. You got to, like, look, if your baton going to be bad forever. So 1, don't fuck your baton up. They not going to issue you a new one because they going to ask you what happened to that one. You going to have to say, who was in some ass?
I hate you.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. France got problems too. Everybody got problems, but not as many as America right now.
Oh hell no,
not as far as I'm concerned. I mean, other countries do got problems, but
no, as far as the world is concerned right now, we got a lot of problems because we looking like some real dipshits out here right about now. So the whole world agrees with you right now.
Cause Cuba calling us on some bullshit.
Yeah, Cuba said we ain't snitching. Fuck y'all.
We ain't giving back Assata Shakur. Number 1. Number 2. Look at y'all motherfucking police killing black people all goddamn day. Don't come out here telling us that we ain't shit because y'all want to roll back business because Donald Trump said we not happy with some of the decisions that the Castro government has made, and they came out like some G's. Like, fuck y'all.
Yep, pretty much.
2, we not sending Assata Shakur back. 3, y'all need to stop killing black people, motherfuckers. Like, that came out like that for real.
Yeah. Dumbasses.
Dumb ass bitches. Anything else? Let me see. So, Republican senator got shot. I mean, I ain't gonna get too deep into that. That shit happened way deep into the week. But I mean, they've created this ultra fucking polarized rhetoric as it pertains to our society, and he got them bops for that shit. I mean, it ain't no laughing matter for real, but I'm interested to see if that's gonna do anything with the gun dialogue. Motherfuckers done started targeting senators now. Like,
nope,
don't shoot senators, man. Just vote out the people that you don't like.
Pretty much.
Last thing is the girl who sent her boyfriend text messages convinced him to commit suicide. Did you hear about that? So basically, this dude, extremely depressed, his psychopathic ass girlfriend was sending text messages basically saying, have you done it yet? When are you going to do it? Oh, man, you said you were going to do it. Like, the fucking text messages are horrific to read. Wow. It's like a fucking week or two long list of her saying you need to kill yourself and convincing him to do it. And nobody thought she was going to be charged. But she got charged for manslaughter.
Because she should. Yeah. Fuck? Fuck her. She should be charged, bitch.
It's real. Like, that shit was legitimately difficult shit to read. You know. But it is what it is. We ran out of time and these motherfucking them stories ain't really hot on my list anyway. But you got anything else on your mind?
I do not.
Right. Until we come to the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.